Am I the asshole for blowing up on my husband in front of his family during New Year's Eve celebration after he joked about my birth experience? Throwaway because I feel so embarrassed. I, 25 female, gave birth to my daughter weeks ago. My experience was pretty traumatic, and since it was my first, I had no clue what to expect. Forgive me for the vague details for privacy, but I will mention all of the relevant stuff, I promise. When I went into labor, I had the most difficult time of my life. I was in pain for hours. My mom was with me, but she had to go, and my husband was with me the entire time. I did something so embarrassing in the delivery room. I pooped myself, which was unexpected and just, I don't know, but it was embarrassing. And although my medical team was very professional about it, my husband couldn't help himself and started laughing about it later and even telling my family about it, but they didn't react. They didn't find it funny, and neither did I. In fact, I found it embarrassing, and I already told him to stop bringing it up, especially when he started joking about getting me diapers for my quote-unquote oopsies. It got really tiring and chipped away from my self-esteem and confidence. We were with his parents celebrating New Year's Eve together when I excused myself to go to the bathroom. While I was getting up, he made a quick remark and said, quote-unquote, "Oh yeah, you should go quickly because we don't want any accidents just like the one we had at the hospital. You know what I mean?" While blinking at me. His family actually laughed, and his brother-in-law commented, "Haha, good one." I was astonished and so angry and ashamed. I literally just lost it on him and yelled at the top of my lungs, calling him a cruel, insensitive jerk to be using the difficult experience of birthing his child as a joking manner and humiliating me in front of everybody. He was shocked, staring back at me and not saying a word. Everyone went silent, and I just stormed off to the bathroom till we left, and that was when he snapped, saying I messed up by talking to him like that in front of his family during dinner. I said I couldn't hold my tongue for that long, and after he kept joking about an embarrassing thing when I told him to stop, he said he was just joking, and I went overboard with my reaction, and also I should have just sucked it up and waited till we got home. I could address this privately, and I could even yell at him as long as I wanted. We argued about it after we got home, and he kept saying that I humiliated him in front of his family during the celebratory evening by being petty and trying to one-up him. He even said I should have laughed along and not fly off the handle like that. So, did I overreact? Was I the asshole for blowing up on my husband in front of his family during a New Year's Eve celebration after he joked about my birth experience? And the top comment coming in with 50,000 upvotes. Not the asshole. What a cruel and immature joke to make. Ask him to push a watermelon out of his dick and see if he can do it without any embarrassing accidents. If you had addressed this in private, he would have said the same thing. You're emotional and overreacting. He did it in front of his parents and family to corner you. This behavior needs to get nipped ASAP. Women release bowels during labor all the time. You have absolutely nothing to be ashamed of. Next comment, OP replied back with 12,000 upvotes. Thank you. Thing is, he's a grade A jokester, and I knew he was going to joke the experience, but not to the point of stressing me out like that. And someone commented below it with 28,000 upvotes. He's not a quote-unquote grade A jokester. He's an asshole. You were not the asshole, and I would tell him that you will be responding like that in the future as well. Next comment, 6,000 upvotes. His choice of words is concerning too. According to husband, OP didn't just embarrass him, but tried to quote-unquote one-up him. He already knows his jokes won't land with her family, so he shares with his family and gets exactly what he wants, ultimate shame and humiliation of his wife. So when she finally lashes out at him, he sees it as a retaliation. Oh, you're gonna embarrass me? Well, I'm gonna embarrass you even more. OP, your husband isn't just an asshole, he's a dickhead. And my vote. This girl is not the asshole. It is very common to have a bowel movement during labor. I think I had one during my labor. I don't even remember. You don't even realize what's going on when you're pushing the kid out. But this woman is not the asshole for blowing up on her husband. What do you guys think? Asshole for uninviting my transgender sister to my wedding? Some background. I have a trans sister that came out to us around a year ago, but has been on hormones for longer and hid it from us until she had moved out into her own place, probably because our parents are very conservative and known to be transphobic. As a result, there was this huge fight, and a ton of people in our family, including our parents, cut her off and don't talk to her anymore. I like to think that I have been pretty supportive of her so far, using her pronouns and her name and all that, which has been hard considering our family gives me crap for doing so. I even make it a point to visit her every so often, while she hasn't seen most of our other family since last year. I also promised her that if and when I got married in the future, she would still be invited despite any tension with our family. Me and my fiance got engaged a while back. My parents, especially my dad, absolutely adore this guy. And since my sister came out, they've almost seen him as this substitute son. Almost as a result, he's definitely more on their side of the situation, and he's made it clear he doesn't really agree with or like my sister all that much. After the proposal, which was very elaborate and surprising and orchestrated by my parents, who are wedding planners, started talking with me about planning the big day and even offered to pay for everything. I mentioned wanting to invite my sister, and they shut the idea down immediately, talking about how she disrespected the family and cut them off and all that. They basically gave me an ultimatum: have my wedding planned and paid for by them, or have my sister there and they don't come at all. I ended up taking my parents' offer because I cannot afford to pay for an entire wedding, and because my fiance pressured me to accept it. I broke the news to my sister, and she's very understandably upset. But I'm still inviting her to a smaller after party via Zoom so we can still be together on my big day. I do feel guilty about this, but now I don't have to worry about planning my wedding or paying for my wedding. So, was I the asshole for uninviting my transgender sister to my wedding? And the top comment coming with 46,000 upvotes. You're the asshole. Why marry a transphobic guy? Next comment, 23,000 upvotes. I don't think OP supports her sister all that much. Calling a trans woman by her pronouns and visiting one's sister, quote unquote, every so often is just basic respect and decency. It doesn't give her bragging rights. The only thing that actually seemed like support was her promise to invite her sister to her wedding, and that did not happen at all. What else has OP done to support her sister? She didn't do anything supportive before, and when confronted with a choice between her sister and their transphobic parents, she chose the parents. She could have opted for a more low-key affair with her sister there. It's either having her parents or sister at wedding, and she chose the parents. And here is an edit to the post From the OP. Edit. I don't think I made it clear enough how overbearing my parents are. Just saying no to them wasn't really an option for me. And if I had declined their offer, they simply wouldn't have come to whatever smaller wedding I managed to plan, which would have been even worse. Edit again. I'm going to turn off notifications for this post because people keep misconstruing my position and ignoring how difficult of a position I am in. I hope you were all happy. These next comments are going to make sense after I said that edit. Next comment, 14,000 upvotes. Look at her whiny edit. People are misconstruing my position. No, they're not. They're just calling out the BS. Next comment, 14,000 upvotes. And the I hope you are all happy, taking her ball and going home because the game isn't going her way. No, Reddit just hauled out the poop knife to cut through your crap. Next comment, 3,000 upvotes. Great use of the poop knife. Next comment, 5,000 upvotes. We're ignoring the terribly difficult position she's in, of having her wedding and lifestyle funded by bigots and then getting judged for it on the internet, on a place that explicitly judges people who volunteer their situations for judgment. What a class act. Her bigot fiance deserves her. And my vote, oh boy, well, I'm gonna have to go with everyone and say a-hole. Yeah, that's my vote. What do you think?